This shit fucking. Happy Saturday, it's your boy Bryan Bone, Bryan Bone. I was just thinking right now that I've always kind of, I recently been telling people or explaining to certain people kind of ask me, or I got into the story of how or why they call me Bryan Bone, or why do I go by Bryan Bone, Bryan Bone. And I was like, man, I should make a little video about that. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. Alright, cut that. Alright, here he is. So yeah, how I got, or why they call me Bryan Bone, why I go by that. The hell is that? I mean, people kind of ask me, why you go by Bone? Why you go by Bones? They call you Bone, Bones, Mr. Bones, Bryan Bones. So yeah, it goes back to since high school. You know, me and the homies. My best homie Alex Bone, big Bone Thugs fan. Around 2006. I mean, I think Bone Thugs been around forever. I'm gonna say that. Like, they've been around since like the Easy days when he brought him out and all that. We ain't gonna go into all that history, but like 2006, I was junior in high school, and yeah, they just dropped a new album, Strength and Loyalty. I see it was our senior year, the beginning of our senior year, 2006. And yeah, anyway, so like, yeah, they're touring, things was back. Yeah, we already listened to Bone Thugs, Tupac. Like, back in the day, the internet was not like it is. You didn't have your fucking smartphone and all that. You had CDs and all that. I had a minivan with a CD changer in there. So under the seat, there was like a bunch of CDs that I burned and stuff. That's how you got around. I also had a system, ride around town with the Bowman system. You know what it is. So yeah, my homie Alex, he would always call people, like the homies, like Bone, like, oh, yo, what up, Bryan Bone, Danny Bone. And that's how it started, all of us. So our immediate group of homies, our little clique, we were all Bone, Fish Bone, Danny Bone, Alex Bone, Mais Bone, Doyle Bone, you know what it is, CJ Bone, all the homies. And if you were like somebody we were cool with, we would throw that honorary Bone on your name just by as we spoke to you. And growing up, how we grew up, like, we don't really call people by their regular name. It's like you got a nickname right away, just like your family does, at most like immigrant households or, first generation. You got nicknames. You don't call you with your government name at home. You got another name. So same thing with the homies. You just tend to develop that. So it started like that. I got to college, all the homies, we kind of went on little ways. I actually was roommate with one of my best homies, the Kid Gang, Danny. So me and him were always tight. We always got homies to come visit us. So, our homies was always like a tight-ass knit group. Whatever we did professionally or like outside of after high school or sports like stuff, we was still tight. And that goes with like having the nicknames for each other. So I started a little blog because I was big into like the hundreds and the hundreds blog and all that. And so I had like a Tumblr and a couple other like WordPress blogs, and the name I was like, I'm gonna throw, what's the name for it? And my homie Yuri at the time would always call me Bryan, like Bryan. Like, I don't know why or where it came from really, but it stuck since like we were young as fuck. And so then I was like, oh, Bryan Bone. That's what I named my blog. There was no there was an IG, I think, back then. Only my homie Danny had it. I think it was like 2009 or something, 2010, probably like 2009. I didn't have it. I didn't have one until like I started working at UCLA, I think, like at 2014. I was like really against it. I was like, man, all that. I was not a smartphone person. I didn't like. It's funny how things change. That's what I'm saying. The world and life will humble you, and your mind and stuff will develop. You'll see like, man, I was tripping or whatnot. Anyways, yeah, when I finally got an IG, of course it was gonna be Bryan Bone, but that's my name goes by from way back, and it was an ever developing story of how I got it. But as I've met more people, growing older in life, people will recognize me by that name or call me by that name, even if they never met me. They once they start following me on whatever social media platforms or what have you, and it's cool to hear that, because it's like I said, growing up, when we grew up, it's like a term like a term of respect, or like just showing like you welcome. If I'm gonna give you a nickname, I'm gonna call you by a nickname instead of just like oh, you Johnny, like you remind me of like something, and you just give them a nickname, whatever it is. And that's all love, that's all respect, like like your family at home calls you something, like we family too, so we gonna give you a nickname. And for me and my homies, it's all Bone. Some of them may not have it in their name or whatever they may put, but that's not even a big deal. That's not what it's about. Like my close homies, when we get together, we always, you know, I always kind of, we'll talk about this certain thing and how we all bone. And yeah, it's Bone for life, baby. It's all love. Bone Thugs in Harmony. It's don't matter where you come from, but you know, as long as you got strength and loyalty, you'll be all right. Happy Saturday. Happy fucking August, bro. It's my birthday month. Let's get it. Bryan Bone. We out.